So I have an interesting video here that I wanted to make a conversation with Michael Borresen, okay? As you know, one of the greatest loudspeaker designers that we have today. There was a poll that I posted on my channel asking you guys, what is the most important thing when it comes to a loudspeaker? Is it how the speaker measures, or is it how it sounds to you? I personally feel the latter, is the most important part. But I know some of you are scientists out there, some of you are engineers, and you love to know measurements, and if it doesn't measure well, then the product is trash. So I wanted to ask an actual speaker designer to tell us his take when it comes to loudspeaker. What is it that is important to him? And I think this is going to be a good interview for most of you to really sit down and think about. Tell us your take on your speaker design.
I think we measure quite a lot, and we measure because we want to have a sort of like an even tonal balance. So we don't want too much bass and too much mid-range and too much treble. That has to be fairly smooth, but it doesn't have to be smooth in terms of perfect linearity. That is for me not a quality.
It's not a quality.
That is not a quality.
Okay.
That is just sort of like what is the tonal balance of the thing. But we listen in transients. That means that we are capable of, with our ears, hearing the bass, the mid-range, and the treble all at the same time. When you measure, you do it sort of like it's in succession. So a measurement is not a representation of what the speaker sounds to us. It's just an interpretation of the energy distribution in the room. And what matters to us is that there's a coherence between the bass we receive, the mid-range we receive, and the treble we receive at the same time. And if that timing aspect is good, then the speaker will sound good. And whether it's a little too much bass or a little too much treble or whatever, our psychoacoustic capability will simply notch that out. Okay. Mind you that our ear sort of is an alert tool. We never stop listening. Even when we're sleeping, we are still listening, because we wake up if there's a twig nearby that our survival depends on that, or depended on that.
Right.
Earlier on more than now, maybe. But that means that we can assess immediately whether a sound is far away and very loud. We can sleep through thunder very easily. But if the lightning strikes very near and you have the very close, you wake up immediately. Also, if somebody starts rattling at your door, you wake up immediately, because it's an alert tool. So we are very, very good at listening in frequency, content, and timing at the same time. And measurement tools are not good for that. They're simply not good for that. They are sort of like what happened over time thing. You measure, and your microphone is a computer, and you measure in a window, a Hanning or Blackman or whatever window, and you get an average of that. And then it's totally distorted to the way we listen.
So when you build your speakers, of course you do measurements to everything you're building, but ultimately at the end, you mentioned to me that you're going to have yourself, you're going to have other people, Lars, listen to the speakers and then give you their opinion as far as
we sort of like trim things, and when we have done the initial setup, this is not too far off, then we start listening, and then we change maybe the tweeter level 1 dB up, 1 dB down. We move the crossover a little up and down, and we do these things, and we do all that typically in an afternoon, and then we let it play for a week, and then we do the same thing twice or 3 times on a speaker in order just to see how is this now, how will it develop over time.
Awesome. Well, there you have it from a loudspeaker designer, okay? You're hearing it from the horse's mouth. I'm not making up anything. I don't feel like measurements are a clear representation of you liking. I guarantee, if you will, that you're going to like a speaker. I just don't feel that way. I have never found that to be the case, so I'm glad that you gave me the opportunity to talk to my audience about this.
We see this sort of like, if linearity were the thing, we would all use DSPs. 2 amplifiers in a DSP, and then you can get a perfect frequency response. I have never heard anything with that configuration, that setup sound fantastic.
A great explanation. Thank you for that, Michael. Appreciate your time, guys. Please hit the like button, and right now, comment. Give me your take on this conversation. This is the type of stuff I want to talk about. I think you guys are very interested in this type of content. Talk to you soon, and please subscribe. Thank you, Michael.
Take care.
Appreciate it.